由台南乐团台南爱乐来为我们演奏非常动人的曲目。那今天呢，我们邀请的来自捷克还有台湾的作家来为我们演绎新诗。So first of all, please welcome our
Zenohy Hočkopeši. Zdechy pod pečetí v dopise, chvění strun, ty struny nechví se. Prchávají někdy od lidí, vidím to, co jim jí nejkrásnější, bývá šílená.
Thank you, Ms. Alice, for presenting the work from Jaroslav Seifert. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the writer, Mr. Cao Yubor, to present the work from Mr. Li Mingyong.
在里尔克的城市留下人生习义，也爱慕兹维凯利瓦。曾经是一首被焚烧的诗，布拉格的红旗取代纳粹旗。诗人的声音被封锁在抽屉里。塞弗特说，他不及手持武器的士兵，因为只能用言语爱他的国度。1960年代末，我出自巴兹谢克从契合的一本诗选。他说，那些年代他收集每一场大灾难的指纹，像绝过血淋淋的手的突然诗人们满头白发。巴兹谢克看不到丝绒革命的荣光，而我走在查理大桥听河水的音屋，有小提琴的伴奏来自金发少女。塞弗托的诗在诗中。
Big round of applause to Mr. Cao Yubor for presenting this wonderful work. Thank you. Big round of applause to Tainan Philharmonic Orchestra. 我们给台湾作家热情掌声。谢谢老师们以及作家。
我们摩拉维亚图书馆的馆长Alice， 还有我们郑大，我们也是我的好朋友我们斯拉夫语系的林蒔慧教授，还有我们今天有来自文化界还有我们文学界的贵宾，各位好朋友，大家好哦。那刚刚真的非常开心看到这个 Alice， 还有我们曹玉博，我们用现代诗来朗诵台湾跟捷克这样子文学的代表来做我们今天文学之夜的开场。那其实我们在今年的时候，我们就跟捷克代表处，我们在我们的台湾文学基地，我们策了一个卡夫卡逝世100周年的展。那其实在，这个文化部的支持之下也谢谢捷克我们紧接着其实有31位的台湾作家到了捷克去这个作家阅读月，那以台湾当作主题国，我想这个应该也是中欧这个历年来规模最大的一个文学活动。那其实呢，我们可以追溯这个台湾跟捷克这样的一个文学的交流其实早在1930年这个黄天海呢，他在翻译查佩克的这个《虫的生活》的时候，那大概就是捷克文学第一次外移的引进台湾那其实我们台文馆跟捷克之间的交流，在20年前也就开始了。那当时林瑞明前馆长，他其实就应邀到捷克去参访了捷克文学馆， 那时候这个台湾文学馆才刚成立，那林瑞明馆长带着这个馆员一起去这个参访，来了解说捷克文学馆它的研究跟典藏制度是如何建立的。那同时也在探寻一个台湾文学外移的一个可能性。那其实这20年来呢，这个台湾跟捷克之间的文学交流非常的密切哦。那我们在这个20年当中，其实我们做的这个译者的驻村，还有工作坊，那文化部跟台湾馆这边也做了非常多的翻译跟外译的一个推动哦。那其实，在今天这个展览，我们大概是2-3年前就已经开始在筹备了哦。那在这2-3年的过程当中，其实我们跟捷克文学馆，我们跟哈维尔图书馆，还有今天来到现场的摩拉维亚图书馆，我们都签订了合作的一个备忘录。同时，我们也在这个2年之间洽谈如何联合来去做策展，如何来商借许多珍贵的文物来到现场哦。那今天真的很开心，就可以跟大家来呈现这个近3年来这个台文馆跟这个捷克方面这个合作这个团队合作策展的结果哦。那其实我要跟大家介绍一下我们今天的展览的主题，打字机也会唱歌哦。那这其实是洪老师给我们的 idea。当时我们为了这个主题，其实思考了非常久。那后来他就觉得说，我们是不是用一个比较诗意的名称来呈现这个展览的内容？那其实打字机在捷克大家会购的时候可以接下来可以去看一下展览。打字机这件事情，其实在捷克文学的发展当中非常重要哦。那它其实代表一个如何理解捷克人民走过那个威权的时代，而奔向自由这样子一个过程。那我们就希望透过这个打字机这样子也会唱歌的意涵，来呈现这样子捷克文学的发展，同时也能够跟台湾的经验来去做一个连接啊。那同时我们在做这个展览策展的这个过程当中，其实也会让我们想到我们的前辈叶石浩先生，他也同样是用一支笔、一台打字机来呈现一个文学我们来对抗遗忘，同时打字机所打出来的旋律，其实就是我们渴望自由这样子的一个旋律啊。那所以我们希望透过这个展览，我们不仅是介绍给台湾民众这个大家所熟悉的捷克的作家之外，同时我们也介绍了1980年代之后许多年轻的作家还没有引进中译本的这个部分。那我们也希望透过这个展览来介绍给大家。那当然，我们这一次的展览还有很多的亮点。那这个是真的要特别感谢我们的合作的馆舍。那他在这一次的展览里面借了非常多珍贵的文物给我们，包括赫拉巴尔他的打字机本人来到现场打字机本人来到现场。那除此之外呢，其实还有米莱克昆德拉他得到这个塔夫塔的讲座那还有很多像克里玛他被秘密警察跟监的这样子的一个珍贵的照片手稿等等那我想都非常值得一看那当然我们不是只有展览而已，跟各位报告，我们明天我们摩拉维亚的图书馆馆长会在我们馆里面做一个专题演讲。那同时我们接下来也会推出很多的讲座、电影、偶戏然后还有手作，我们希望大小读者亲子都可以来参观那最后真的再次衷心感谢促成这一次展览的这个国内的借展的一个单位捷方这样子的一个这个协助，还有学术界东吴的郑德兴老师那个苏佩老师对我们的一个协助那我想这个不只是Team Taiwan，也是Team Czech Republic 共同策展的一个结果。再次感谢各位，谢谢。
谢谢先分享这个温暖的语言，这个感觉就
图书馆的馆长以及 Alice， 这我们7月份才在捷克碰过面的，还有今天在场还有那个麋鹿出版社， 然后今天主办单位台湾文学馆的陈馆长今天在座的文学界或者是长期从事我们台捷文化交流的朋友们，大家晚安。那非常荣幸能够再次代表文化部来出席，这应该是这个年度文化部跟捷克合作的第3档的很大型的交流活动。那首先是在今年6月份的时候，台湾博物馆跟捷克的国家博物馆合作推出了一个在我们台博展出的城堡展，城堡与城堡展。那这个展览在11月30号才刚结束。那刚刚在7月份的时候，就是馆长有提到的，由文化部跟捷克文化部一起合作的一个作家阅读月的一个活动。在这个活动里面，我们由文化部支持了31位的台湾的作家到捷克，在捷克有2个城市，然后还有斯洛伐克也有2个城市，轮番的去朗读他们自己的作品。那个气氛呢，跟今天刚刚的那个演出节目，又让我回想起了在捷克的这个阅读月的活动上，的确我们台湾的作家朗读自己的作品，然后当天晚上也会有捷克的作家朗读他们自己的作品。那这样2个朗读完的时候，现场的观众会对于他们朗读的作品的内容给予相当多的回馈或是提问。那我想在那个充满了一个知识，然后或者是彼此对文化的探索展现出的兴趣的那样一个交流会议上，真的是感受到很满满的台捷的友好的情谊。那接下来就是今天我们即将通过2年来的一个筹划，跨越了 COVID-19 的一个阻碍，好不容易完成的这个捷克现代文学展。那我想短短1年之间，台湾跟捷克都由政府部门做一个非常大型的一个交流活动，各位可以感受到，其实捷克方除了我们有这个意愿之外，其实捷克方的善意的回应，然后也提供的非常多的资源，我们彼此的协助。那我想在未来我们可以持续的这样子来努力。那这边因为在7月份在捷克的这个阅读作家阅读月也是由我代表文化部去快闪了3天3天的行程里面，除了要参加开幕式，还有2场的作家的一个分享会之外，我也去参观了包括捷克文学馆跟摩拉维亚图书馆。那这2个馆对我来讲也真的是印象深刻。在捷克文学馆里面，他们的常设展里头，其实就在表达整个捷克在历经一个权威的压制过程，一个管理政治的过程里面，如何文学家们如何的，对我们来讲还有点地下会社，就是如何在透过读书会或者是广播，或者是一些私下的一些聚会，彼此在分享一些对于自由、对于思想、对于社会更关怀的这样的一个思考跟交流。那在捷克文学馆的那个交流展，那个常设展里面，其实你可以看到很多的他们捷克当初是怎么样在透过读书会或者是彼此的文书有时候要写在那个卫生纸上面或者是其实也这个过程里面，很多捷克的作家其实跟台湾的作家一样，都遭遇到可能有被囚禁，然后被判刑这样的一个很痛苦的经验。那我想这个在捷克文学馆里面，我讲今天我刚刚听说有部分的展品其实也到了我们现场来，大家可以理解，透过理解一个现代文学的历程，其实也可以理解双方在文学在整个政治氛围上，或者是文化历史发展上面的一个发展的过程。那另外一个去参观了摩拉维亚图书馆，其实我要跟各位特别介绍，这个图书馆真的不是我们想象的，跟台湾的图书馆有非常大的差异。这个图书馆里面它有一个我们台湾大概最熟悉的捷克作家米兰昆德拉的一个专区。这个专区里面，他们收集了米兰昆德拉所有的作品，不只是所有的作品，而是所有的不同语文的作品。 原来昆德拉先生的作品，因为这是世界名著，他的各种版本，包括中文版，我在里面可以看到我们所谓的中文版的翻译本，全部都收藏在里面。他做一个非常完整的一位作家，他的呈现，他的文化，他的思想如何在各个国家发生的影响，他的文化，在这个专区里面，你是都可以感受得到。这是第一个让我印象深刻的。第二个，他们当天摩拉维亚图书馆跟我分享的。他们在做所有捷克作品的数位化，除了数位化以外，还在从事着一个用训练，他们花了15年的时间在训练一个所谓的 AI 自动翻译，它可以翻译成10几个国家的语言，它不用透过说我们等到我们常常有作品出来的时候要经过一个特定的程序，才有办法完成翻译。他们是10几年来一直在训练他们的智能翻译者，可以比较快速的。因为我记得当天是副主任跟我分享，他就说，毕竟这个世界上会捷克文的人不多，可是他们希望捷克的文化能够更广、更快速的让这世界来理解，所以他们必须要去训练这样一个所谓的智能的翻译者，可以比较快速的把他们的作品马上就可以翻译成各国的语言。我们在当天呢测试了一下，我觉得那个准确度真的是令人叹为观止。其实那天看着他们做的这几项工作，我真的回来就一直跟我们同仁讲，其实我们文化部、我们台湾这方面要多努力、多学习，要加油。所以今天非常开心看到馆长亲自到台湾来，然后还有爱丽丝也到这边，那代表在这里，代表非常的有活力。我刚刚也跟他邀请了。未来文化部希望能够跟捷克这边再继续的更紧密的一起合作，让我们双方的文化，让我们双方的国民能够透过文化、透过文学彼此更加的理解。那也欢迎各位，如果在这段时间里面，透过我们这个打字机也会唱歌这样一个特展，来理解捷克文化里面跟台湾那个息息相扣的这样的一个文化脉络。那我相信各位一定会收获满满。那我们也期待未来台湾跟捷克之间的合作能够愈发的顺利发展。好，谢谢各位。
非常感谢市长议员，也感谢文化部。
Professor Stehlik, who is lying 10,000 kilometers far from here on a sofa with broken leg. We greet you as well. Dear Melissa and Tomáš and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, 大家好. I'm very happy that I can be here. This is my 4th time in this beautiful institution, and I'm happy to be back among good friends and good old books. And I'm very happy that the occasion is this fascinating exhibition that you are going to see. I sneaked into that privately, unnoticed, and I saw that. And I will have to start my speech with the blasphemy. Please don't quote me on that. I don't want to see it in papers tomorrow. If an attentive Taiwanese visitor goes through this exhibition, he or she will know more about Czech literature than an average Czech. Sorry for that. I'm happy that even distant Czech Republic and Taiwan have many things in common. And one thing we have in common is the shared history. The history of a totalitarianism, of an oppression. And I'm also very happy that this history is also, not only, but also featured in this beautiful exhibition. And those times were really difficult. Imagine that a word, an idea, a writing was considered so dangerous by the regime that it was prohibited for even a period. It was locked somewhere in a safe. Even the authors, the writers, the poets were imprisoned. This was also the case of 2 faces. I saw the pictures of Hrabal and Kundera, albeit their situation is a little bit different because they were not imprisoned, any of them. but their books were not published, either at all or not that much. But imagine that there was a very talented Czech poet, or Moravian poet, Jan Zahradníček. He spent 13 years in prison for his thoughts, for his verses. And he was literally destroyed by the regime. And many others were imprisoned, like Havel, the former president, like Jiří Kolář, Eva Kanturková, and many others spent years or long months in prison. But those days of oppression, they also had good sides. And they are connected to typewriter. That was a tool that enabled the books, leaflets rather than books, to be published in secret. That's what we call samizdat. I don't like this expression because it comes from Russian. It means like self-editing, self-publishing. And this self-publishing showed for me the positive side of that era, of the period. The determination of people not to get oppressed, take a risk. The willingness to do something even though it was dangerous. And I don't know whether you've ever realized how typewriter was important for this self-editing. Usually those writers were using typewriter and they put up to 12 thin papers with carbon papers in between. And they had to push really hard to make the text appear, to make the text copy on all of those 12 sheets. I'm told, I was very young back then, a baby, but I'm told that the first 6 copies were quite legible. The rest 6 were very difficult to read. So this is how books were published in secret. The unofficial books, of course, were published in secret those days. I think that the contemporary, both Czech and Taiwanese writers and poets are very happy that those times are gone and that they can work freely. But I think it's worth remembering that we had such difficult days in our history. And I think it's worth remembering that not to forget that the freedom we have is not granted, that the freedom we have is not automatic, that it doesn't fall from the sky, that it is something that is worth struggling for all the time. And let me conclude by one thing. 2 years ago, at this very institution, I said something, and I'll be now repeating myself, but Kundera, your hero, was doing the same. He was also repeating himself. I said that while the Czech-Taiwanese relationship had been ongoing for 30 years, the relationship between the Czech and Taiwanese literature is a little bit younger. So while the Czech-Taiwanese relationship, official relationship, reminds me of a marriage, a solid marriage, you know, adult marriage, the Czech-Taiwanese literature relationship is a young, romantic love, full of affection, full of energy. And I keep my fingers crossed to this love to last forever, at least. Sheshini, thank you.
Thank you.
So many inspiring people. I'm so happy to be here. Really, thank you very much. Anyway, dear Deputy Minister, the Director, dear Tomáš Řízek, because I met this guy a few years ago, and his feeling for opening the Taiwanese window for me. He did really a lot for me, for my understanding of Taiwan. Tomáš, thank you so much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the exhibits that we would like to present to readers in Taiwan, I ask myself, what is it about these exhibits, these novels, these poems, that is specifically Czech? What makes Czech literature different? What makes it unique? I soon, fortunately, realized that these questions were false, and therefore wrong. That they were questions that went against the very meaning of literature, that is, against the very meaning of good literature. And I want you to find good literature in this exhibition, dedicated to Czech literature. How will you recognize it? Reading it will make you feel at home. It will tell you about the issues that concern you, about the people you know so well, about the questions that worry or divide you. And it will tell in a way that allows you to engage with them. It will do so in a language that dissolves the boundary between you and literature and takes you into a world of imagination and fantasy, a world that is so close. What is unique about good literature? Perhaps that it knows no boundaries, national or otherwise, that it is not an instrument of division, but a means of mutual understanding. When I read Young Mu Memories of Mon Quy Lai, Chilai, thank you. When I read Young Mu Memories on Chilai, I cannot see how far it is from the memories of the Czech writer and poet. Jan Zábrana, published under the title A Whole Life. The books are not the same, not even remotely similar, but they allow me to understand each other. They both deal with the relationship between man and history. They both show me the relationship between man and history. And both books are about will to live. Well, although they are different, the reason for their existence is the same. That is why they complement the understanding of human destiny in history. When I read Who, Me, You, The Man with Compound Eyes, I read it together with the Czech author Bianca Bell, the book Jezero. It is a novel that won the European Prize for Literature. No, the books are not similar in story or in character, but they share the same theme, the same fear, the same anxiety. When I read Taiwanese literature, I realize how close Czech and Taiwanese readers are, how similar we see the world, and how similar we try to defend the right to exist, the freedom, to love, or to read. Part of the exhibition is dedicated to Milan Kundera. A few years ago, together with French friends, the philosopher Jean-Paul Eindhoven and the writer Guy Scarpetta, we wrote several essays in which we ironically played with the question of whether Kundera was French or Czech writer. It was a wonderful intellectual duel, and sometimes so violent that some Czech readers still think that Guy Scarpetta is trying to steal Milan Kundera from them. And this pretended but heated duel ended as it has the end. We agreed that to call Kundera Czech or French writer is to diminish the importance of his work. After all, I think that if I were to ask you whether Milan Kundera is part of Taiwanese literature, the answer would be yes, he is part of Taiwanese literature. Good literature leaves the narrow frontiers of national literature and becomes the best ambassador of the humankind. It makes the people understandable. It has the ability to articulate them. Good literature does not diminish our uniqueness, but at the same time shows that we are part of a larger community, that we are part of one world. I would like you to find this uniqueness of Czech literature in this exhibition. That through literature you will see how close we are to each other. And let me thank the authors of the exhibition. Let me thank my colleagues at the National Museum of Literature, and I look forward to future cooperation and the future meeting with Taiwanese authors in the Czech Republic. I hope you will find the exhibition inspiring. Thank you for it.
Thank you very much. This is a wonderful
Boss, director of the Czech Museum, of the Museum of the Czech Literature, can be here today. I will read his words for you. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, I'm honored to participate in the exhibition today on the topic of Czech literature. The literature has an absolutely irreplaceable role in the formation of Czech nation in the 19th century. It is from this period that the writers have held a completely extraordinary position in society. Names like Karel Čapek and opened the Czech culture to the world, and thanks to him, Czech literature entered the global economy. Writers were also victims of dictatorship that Czech society went through. They experienced persecution because they form an integral part of the intellectual elite of Czech society. The Nazi regime even had some prominent writers executed. Throughout the 19th to 20th century, Czech society also went through 40 years of communist totalitarianism. Writers raised their voices against lies and censorship of the communist regime. For example, the only Czech Nobel Prize winner for literature, Jaroslav Seifert, was critical of the regime, even at the cost of the persecution. In the 1960s, writers against open debate on the character of Czech society. Names such as Milan Kundera or Ludvík Vaculík were at the forefront of the effort for social change in 1968. The social change of 1989 was led by the playwright and writer Václav Havel, who became a symbol of the fall of communism. As the first democratic president after 1989, he also became a symbol of a change and the path to the democracy, which we have today. I would like to thank everyone who participated in this exhibition, our partners from the Moravian Library, and of course, the director of the National Museum of Taiwan Literature, as well as my colleagues from the Museum of Czech Literature, namely Alice Šajtarová. I believe that this project is also one of the most important moments of Czech-Taiwanese cooperation which has been developing in recent years. We do not live in simple times, but I believe that the power of words and the values associated with them can overcome many of our problems. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alice. 接着会长继续讲讲那从观众所说的。
Warm regards from the Czech Republic. I would like to express my gratitude and my thanks for your interest in my work and the work of my friends and colleagues. Most of them are unfortunately not with us anymore. I wish you to find some inspiration and wisdom in the exhibition, maybe even a desire to read more books by Czech authors. Thanks you for visiting this exhibition, and I wish you all of the best from Prague.
Can we give Mr. Kliman a big round of applause? Thank you. Right, perfect. So, okay, so do you know how to proceed this launching ceremony? It's very obvious, because we have the button on the pillar. So when I count down from 3 to 1, just press the button. All right, are you ready? Okay, let's count together. 我们一起来倒数哦。3, 2, 1. Please press the button. Ladies and gentlemen, the Timeless Homes and Dreams exhibition on Taiwan Czech literature is now officially open. So we hope that for this exhibition, we will have a more literary and historical treasure of Czech Republic. Let's have a good photo together. Alright. Yes, please. At the front of the stage. Yes. Okay, with a smile. Okay, on the count with your smile, please look at the front. On the count of 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's check the angle. Is the angle alright? Okay. Because of the lights. We need some lights. Okay, we need some lights. Is that okay? 可以吗? Is that better? Okay, with your smile. Okay, look at the front. 1, 2, 3. One more. 3, 2, 1. And we also have video. So this concludes today's opening ceremony. And up next, we would like to have a guided tour of the exhibition led by the curation.
好，接下来呢，我们就要来进行展场巡礼，我们交给这一次的